We begin this story in March. The protagonist of this play tells us that after passing the cold of winter, the warm breeze of spring arrived at the university. The new students who have just entered fill the campus and increase the dream and enthusiasm for university life. It is literally the time that best combines with the word exciting. However, among all that, there is a person who has nothing exciting. There's always someone like that anywhere. A person with a bad reputation wherever you go, that nobody wants around. And that person is our protagonist. She is known for being the girl who was obsessed with her ex-boyfriend. She has already returned to university after a while. She couldn't believe they're talking about her past history, but she doesn't understand how they recognized her. She thought that her appearance had changed a lot. One of the girls mentions that they both took the same course in the first year. It seems that she has not changed much. She still looks the same as she did that time before she had long hair. In any case, it would be better for him to take another path. Suddenly he bumps into someone. The person asks if it's okay. That voice becomes familiar to him. It was her ex-boyfriend, and he mentions the name of the protagonist. Her name is Legion. It seems like he's back in college. It's been a while since they last saw each other. Suddenly stopped contacting him. She took her cap and left that place. Hides in an area of the campus. Why that guy is still in college is what she wonders. This brings back bad memories, since he is the protagonist of her rumors, the garbage of her ex-boyfriend. Begin to remember the events of that day. He always asked him if she did anything wrong, and he replied that she did not. She didn't understand why he left her for another. She thought, I was acting weird lately. The campus audience was beginning to assume that she was obsessed with her ex-boyfriend. It is assumed that both of them had ended their relationship, and she was still clinging to that guy. Because she was remembering the past, she did not realize that they were calling her. The teacher was passing assistance. She apologizes and tells the teacher that she is present. Next time you should respond instantly. She turns around as she starts hearing those guys talk about her. Even though he is wearing a cap, he is easy to recognize. They're talking about the rumors again. A boy in the classroom notices this. They talk about how Lei Young was obsessed, but that does not concern him personally. His friend asks him what he is seeing. He replies that it is nothing. Classes end. Some students were thinking of going out to eat or have fun. Others had classes after this. There are a lot of people. She wants to get out of this place fast. Adjusts his cap, walks while lowering his head, but accidentally trips, and I was about to fall. But the type of the sneaker holds it. Legion apologizes for being distracted. When he turns to look back at him, the blonde boy next to him stares at him. This makes it a little alarming, and ends up leaving the place. She felt uncomfortable with his gaze. Walks home with his head down. Feel like it's all over now. It's already starting to get too uncomfortable since it came in. He doesn't know how he'll endure a year like this. But more important, why is that guy still in college? His head hurts. Arrive at the pension. He takes off his cap and glasses to take a shower, receives a call from his mother. She answers, and her mother asks her if she arrived safely at her bedroom. We'll have a roommate. We have to come back a week early. Legion's name had been omitted from the dorm list for some strange reason. He couldn't get into his bedroom for now. Because of that, he had to find somewhere to sleep. While looking for a place to stay, fortunately, he found a room in a guest house that still had space. Her mom is surely worried about that aspect. She tells her that everything is fine. She is living with a roommate, and end the call. They almost discovered her. She doesn't want to worry her. Get a notification. Someone wrote in a public forum. She, out of curiosity, reviews. An anonymous person mentions in the post that he likes someone. When this person fell in front of the Faculty of Education, her whole stack of books fell off as well, and at that moment a boy with long blonde hair appeared, with a somewhat dark appearance, and who helped her pick up her books and accompanied her to the teacher's office. They both exchanged numbers. That boy has something that attracts her for some reason. You can't stop thinking about him. This boy is a student in the College of Education, the same faculty that Legion attended. Check below, and he realizes that there are quite a few comments. Decides to review out of curiosity, and he sees that it's mostly some negative comments. Some seem to know the dark-skinned guy. That guy is completely disgusting. He spends his time stealing other people's girlfriends. He's a complete womanizer. People who spread rumors like this really bother her. Even if he does not know if it is true or not, he cannot confirm it. So did her ex-boyfriend with her. Made others not believe in her. It would be good to be a little wary of rumors. She doesn't want to be involved with trash people. Go to the convivial tent, and leaves after buying. As he was walking back, he sees a person on a corner. She thinks maybe he's drunk since he sees him crouching in an alley, but it's a little late. Just wait until that person is okay. But just as a precaution, he will go to check and approaches to ask him if you are well, but with what was not expected. It was that he ran into with the blonde boy from before making out with a girl. He doesn't care and asks her lover if it's okay. She had misunderstood things. The next day, she leaves her boarding house with a strange feeling. After having seen that situation of yesterday, to see that kind of thing on the street, arrive at the university campus, and in the middle of the hallway, he meets the boy from last night, making out with a different woman. The boy notices his presence, and she just keeps her mouth shut. The guy tries to provoke her while kissing his lover. Legion is ashamed to see such a scenario that he can't stand it anymore and ends up withdrawing. I think this guy is crazy. He stared at him as he kissed, just like that night. A stranger like him is on his same campus. He looks like a criminal for having long bleached hair so that he remembers it. According to the description of the public forum, it has the same characteristics that were said in the publication. That's the same guy who's been described as a womanizer, an idiot and bride stealer. That guy is pretty cheeky. He really hates that kind of people. A few hours pass. He checks his calendar and needs to teach one more class for today. While walking, I saw some guys talking bad about her. He'll just leave and come back to his living room. Someone tells you to be careful. Since a ball was about to come to him, his lens ends up breaking. The other students notice this. She was lying on the floor. She felt so much shame that she wants to take a break. The boy apologizes for that. She gets up and looks for his glasses to put on. Someone takes it instead. She thanks him. The boy who picked up her glasses tells her that she looks pretty without the glasses. He's the same dark-skinned blonde guy from before. A few hours later, his friend asks Nam Chang-woo if he was interested in that girl from before. He replies that perhaps his friend is the interested one. She looked quite adorable. Her friend tells her that this girl is the one who made a fuss on campus about her ex-boyfriend and went back to college this year. He never thought she was the rumor girl. His friend asks him if he thinks it's cute. He replies that he's not really his type. Her friend thinks he may not be able to win her over. But remembering the kind of expression she put on when she saw him, she replies that she seems easy to win over. It's time for class. Legion can't help but remember that occasion. You really don't want to run into those kinds of people. Maybe that guy, he knows her. Since Chang-woo wouldn't let to approach it, Legion walks away to take another seat. Even at the exit, she refused to have any contact with him. He was found wherever he goes. That guy is really trash. He's with a different girl this time. Without her noticing, Chang-woo was in front of him. I wanted to talk to her, but Legion at all costs avoids it. This wasn't fun anymore. It's already getting annoying. The next day, she was on her way to her classes, but he bumps into a person. He raises his head and apologizes. He realizes it was Chang-woo. This situation was uncomfortable. She escapes again. Chang-woo can't take it anymore. The arm grab and stops her. He asks why he is fleeing again. She feels embarrassed. I didn't want to teach him. Its expression slides his hand and is released when you hit him in the face and ends up escaping from it. He doesn't understand why she acts like this and runs away every time she sees him. Legion takes a seat to listen to the classes, but there's something that makes him too uncomfortable. Chang-woo sat next to him. If you continue like this, you won't be able to avoid running into this guy every week. Chang-woo has fun doing this and tells Leggy that she needs to focus on the class. That makes her a little nervous. His response was immediate. An assistant teacher introduces everyone to the class. This voice is a Leggy. He becomes familiar. Was Kang Tae Hyuk, her ex-boyfriend. He will be the new teacher during this semester. Now his life is completely ruined. They start calling assistants. They call the name of Legion. She raises her hand. I wish I could change the class period, but it's too late. Suddenly, feel how Tae Hyuk stares at her. There is an awkward silence between the two. She just puts her head down. Chang-woo, seeing the state he is in, maintains silence between the two. Finish the classes. Legion gets its things ready and leaves the room. He cared at all in class as he expected. You just need to separate your worries from everyone else. Suddenly, Chang-woo grabs her shoulder and tells Legion that in this class he has no friends, and that they both have taken, it seems coincidental, but with the attention of all the girls in the class. One may soon make a lot of friends. But more than that, why do you keep using informal language with her? At that moment, she is called by Taehyung. She freezes for a moment. Take Chang-woo's hand off, and I ran out of the place. I wanted to avoid having any contact with Taehyuk. Chang-woo doesn't know what's wrong with him. but maybe Taehyuk has something to do with it. Although at the moment, that is not so clear. Ends up retiring, leaving Taehyuk behind. A few minutes pass. Chang-woo tells her that the professor was looking for her. She tells him not to worry. The way of responding is cutting. Now it is clear to him. Is Taehyuk her ex-boyfriend? She reacts, surprisingly, giving herself away. This reaction is confirmed by, "I just wanted to check what he said." And now she looks angry. She replies that it's not that, first of all, because he acts as if he knows everything, and because he speaks informally. This answers that this is because both have already met, but the way Legion met him was not at all appropriate. He also helped her pick up her glasses. He also remembers the name of Legion. Despite showing displeasure, he responds accurately, asks Legion if he knows his name. He was about to answer no, but seeing the kind of annoyed expression Chang-woo could have if he answered no, unfortunately, she doesn't remember. He's a little scared. Chang-woo tells you his name. "Just hope I remember." That must be clear. He almost got scared. She thought they were both close, but she didn't see it that way. He's ignoring it, as always. In that case, he asks Legion why he walks without glasses. She tells him that his glasses have broken. It seems that the answer to his question was quite common. As always, the guy is a mess. In the end, they ended up eating together on campus. He even proposed to accompany her to her house, but she invented an excuse for him to move away. As he walked, he heard a couple talking to each other, affectionately, expressing your love. This brings back memories of when love and affection were given with her ex-boyfriend Taehyuk, but things had changed. Nothing was like before. He doesn't know why he keeps thinking only in the things good. For some reason, it's annoying. Arrive at the pension and check their phone. Began to remember when Taehyung called her. Thinking about it doesn't reassure her. It looks like it's not gonna work. You have to stop thinking about it. Maybe I'll go for a walk in the convivial tent. He pulls out his phone and checks an ad. And notice, you are informed that there will be a semester start party. She wasn't gonna go anyway. Leaves the store. After buying banana milk, see some couples outside the store. It looks like they're having fun. Accidentally, someone bumps into her and makes his banana milk spill on this guy's shirt. Another guy apologizes. His friend is drunk. The boy's shirt was stained. In any case, it doesn't matter. In the end, it's their fault for bumping into her. She was going to retire, but the boy who was drunk gets angry. I wanted Legion to apologize properly. His friend tells Legion to just leave. She was gonna do it, but the guy, not being in his right mind, stops her by holding her. Asks you to apologize properly. His friends show up to hold him. The boy didn't want to be ignored. When he is shaking his hand, his lighter flies off and lands on someone else's shoulder. Chang-woo wonders who the idiot was. By accident, they threw it at him. Who they were supposed to be screaming at. Turned to his gaze, and he realizes that it was a relationship. Chang-woo asks her why she cries. Fix the situation with an apology. Chang-woo buys her another banana milk. This one asks if he always gets into trouble. Doesn't hear a response. Looks like she's about to cry again. She doesn't know how to comfort women who cry. He only asks him not to cry. She keeps calm. Feels a little embarrassed. Now that he's not crying, he wants to swap numbers with her. He thinks maybe he won't, but she takes her phone and does it as she just helped her return the favor. I didn't know I'd really give it to him. Now he has his contact. A person appears from behind. Chang-woo seems to recognize it. It was Taehyuk. It seems like it's a coincidence that both have found. Legion instinctively clings to Chang-woo's arm. Prefers to keep their head down. Chang-woo doesn't understand why he did this suddenly. She's thinking about what she's gonna do after that incident. Both return home, but there is something that does not add up. Why Chang-woo is here? We have to go back to that time. She wants to avoid meeting her ex-boyfriend, and when she saw him by instinct, she hugged the person next to her. Taehyung felt something strange between the two of them. The Legion asks, what are they doing? Chang-woo tells him that they are both acquaintances, and they leave without saying more. After he helped her, she decided to follow him. Soon he would arrive at his home. He tells Chang-woo that he can't enter his boarding house, but what she didn't know, it was that Chang-woo also lived in the same boarding house. The fate of both was the same. Feel some shame. Chang-woo stands in front of her and asks her if she is going to be separated without doing anything. Perhaps it's her fault that she can't get in. Legion replies that he does not, although in reality what he says is true. In any case, she thanks her for helping her, is indebted to him. Your face feels a little heavy. Legion calls him with simple thanks is not enough. "So what do you want?" Chang Woo confesses that he likes it. He wants to know what he thinks of him. This question for some reason displeases him. He tells him he was just joking, he should relax his expression. Kang, as a Legion roommate, goes to the first floor to check, and he realizes that Chang Woo is talking to Legion. He had already told him not to harass Legion. He tells him that he was not doing it, as he tells Legion to just ignore him, and they both go up to the second floor. Chang Woo sleeps on the first floor. Before going to sleep, he asks Legion if tomorrow he will go to the conference. She replies that maybe yes. Then they will both go together, Ayin agrees. "Hope you have a good night." She lies on her bed and wonders what this situation is. Living in the same house with someone you never wanted to meet is the worst. It's already morning. She goes with a boy and sinks on her way to university. She writes her notes. Eat the food from the cafeteria. Feels something is wrong. It feels uncomfortable for the three of them to walk together. According to the question what she wants to eat at night, she replies that we order chicken. A motorcycle starts to pass. Take to Legion of the shoulder, and he sets it aside so that he is careful. Depending on the question what you are doing, she replies that the motorcycle was passing nearby. Already at night, the chicken arrives at home. Place the food on the table. He wonders why those two still don't come. He tells both of them that the chicken has arrived. Legion gets out of the shower, and he notices that Chang Woo was in front of the door. He asks her what she is doing in the women's apartment. He tells him that the first floor bathroom is under remodeling. He asks him if he has already washed Legion. He replies, "Yes, I'd better go eat first." Then she would pass, but Chang Woo stands in his way. Both wanted to pass but crossed their path. Asks why he's blocking her. She responds that she is not doing it. She knows she's just playing, but he wasn't going to get carried away. "Do your best to get through, but I couldn't get through the road." But he wasn't going to give up. Get an opening, and it's about to come out. I had succeeded, but it ends up slipping, and they both end up falling together. Legion hurts his head a little, and while he complained about the pain, he didn't realize that he was quite close to Chang Woo. Both silently look at each other closely. Chang Woo feels the bare Legion's chest. She is quite embarrassed. Is completely paralyzed. Chang Woo tells you one thing, she's moving too fast. Lately everyone says that things are going fast, but I didn't expect her to be like this. Is he wrong? He was getting closer and closer to kiss her, but you hear a slap as he goes up to check what happens. It seems that now Chang Woo understands the situation. From that day on, Legion has been avoiding it with all its might. It's already morning. Chang Woo asks about Legion. He is told that he already left early. He had been notified in advance by chat. This must be Chang Woo's fault. Classes end. All students get their things ready. Legion is comfortable being alone. He starts to choose what he is going to eat. Chang Woo wants pork with rice, so you can both eat together, but he doesn't realize that she was no longer in her place. She's hard. That gave him a big scare. He doesn't know where that guy came from. He can't help but remember what happened yesterday. Avoid approaching Chang Woo so that he does not try to touch her. Even if she is grateful for his help, she must keep her distance. Your phone vibrates. Check the chat. Taeyuk asks him if he will come to classes today. He wants the two to see each other for a while. She gets up. Taeyuk gets a response. She has no reason to see it. This response was rather dry. Already at night, Chang Woo asks Legion to give him private lessons. In a few weeks there will be midterms, and both are in the same class. He asks her if she is good at tutoring. She replies yes, as this is not the first time she has done something like that. As he tells him to accept so that in exchange, Chang Woo will invite him the food. The problem with choosing one is the food. It's just that it makes you uncomfortable being next to him. Anyway, he tells him that he can't, his time is crucial, and he's pretty sleepy right now. After that, Chang Woo kept asking him for private lessons. He even wrote it to her by message, and even on the food plate. But she leaves since she had classes. Chang Woo's food tasted horrible. After many requests from Chang Woo, I told him I agreed to teach him. He knows there's no turning back. We'll start next week. The class schedule will be arranged by message. Right now, he already has classes. But there's something he forgot to tell you. She turns around, but he sees that he already had 2 women by his side and decides not to give it importance. A week has passed. The minutes pass. She pulls out her books. It was prepared an hour before the private lessons started. She hadn't taught for a long time and became a little nervous about 50 minutes before it starts. Minutes go by. It's 7:50. Chang Woo enters the room to look for Legion. He sees that she is asleep, wake up after feeling a person nearby. Chang-woo stared at him. She freaks out for a moment and screams exaggeratedly all over the house. A few minutes later, she asks him why didn't he wake her up? There's a pretty obvious reason. She was sleeping so soundly that it was sad to wake her up. It would be better if he cleaned his mouth. She's embarrassed about it. It seems that the mark has remained. Today is your first day having private lessons. Normally, the teacher would have to introduce himself. She opens her book. He already knows her name, and she knows hers too. It is 9:30. We'll give you classes until 11. Asks you to sit next to him before it gets late. She takes it normally. Mark the notes of the book. Chang-woo is just thinking about something else. Legion throws the book in his face, asks him to concentrate. If he keeps thinking about something else, he won't be able to teach him. You must listen very carefully. Minutes go by. You should practice what you learned for next week. That's when she decides to go back to her room. She really stayed listening to the whole class. She's working hard for him. You must do your part. The next morning, Chang-woo asks for his backpack to carry himself, and he ends up taking it off, and Legion gets upset. It's been a few days. Chang-woo has chocolate in his hand. I was gonna offer it to Legion. She tells him she doesn't like chocolate. Chang-woo replies that he wasn't going to give it to him. He wants him to buy him a similar one. Chang-woo apologizes and tells her that chocolate was for her. His friends call him. He tells them that now he is going take Legion by the hand and hands him the chocolate. Expect you to enjoy your meal. It's a pretty nice gesture on his part. At that moment, Taehyuk appears behind her. Before he escapes, he asks him to wait a moment. You don't need to ignore him up to this point. She doesn't take it well. How can he say something like that? Since he told him that he has nothing more to tell him, Taehyuk asks him to calm down first. Right now, she is excited. On that occasion, he also said the same thing to him. For that reason, he stopped talking to her. He's still the same. At that moment, Seong appears and calls her, wants to invite her to his club. He also realizes that the teacher is here. Legion the arm grab, and he tells him to go to the club once and for all. Both move away from Taehyuk to avoid continuing to talk to him. Arrive at the club room. Legion for anger agreed to join the club. You should know that if he comes in, the boys of the club will be happy. But there's something you have to tell him. Chang-woo is also in the club. Both, as always, meet by coincidence. But why is he here? It turns out that he entered the club following Legion. He turns his gaze towards her and asks him what he is doing here. And because of his shyness, tries to hide their shame. This is the film club. They will meet every Thursday. She is Seojin, the president of the club. Seon asks if activities start next week. Seojin replies that yes, when a new movie is released, he will let you know through the group's chat. If you have movies to recommend, you should report it to the group. Just for this week. They have met each other's faces. Lee Junho thought he would get too involved. After the presentation, Seon asks him if he is doing well with private lessons. Legion replies that maybe it's not like, I'm really good at teaching, so you should ask the student about that. Chang-woo asks her how private lessons are going. They want to know what he thinks of the classes that Legion gives. He responds that he is good at teaching. He even left him homework assigned. That sounds good. Legion asks him if he has already done his homework. He replies that it still doesn't seem like Legion was excited to know that she was good at teaching. When the night came, Legion was waiting for his student. You want them to sit down quickly to review their homework. Several weeks have passed. The tasks he left him, he did correctly. Chang-woo wanted to be rewarded for a kiss. She gets upset and hits him. The day of the written exam has arrived. Everyone receives the test sheet. Legion just waits. Might Chang-woo do well? End the exam. The next class will receive their grades. Some filled out almost the entire exam. Someone touches Chang-woo's back. Legion asks him how well he did in the exam. From this, he expects a response. He starts to think and remembers how you took the exam. Looks like you did it, right? That's a relief. But even if the results haven't come out, she feels a little worried. Chang-woo tells her that everything will be fine. The results will come out according to what she studied. She just hopes it goes well. This time, he is not avoiding it as the previous times. She starts to walk away and tells him that she will see him later. A few days pass and delivers the notes. Legion rejoices over Chang-woo's grades. The effort to study paid off. Getting one more B is a great advance. Chang-woo knows it's all thanks to her. A student's grades are good when a teacher is good at teaching. That's also because Chango was good at listening. But leaving that aside, how long will he continue to call it that way? He wants me to at least call him a takeover. Legion tells him that he does not want to do it, so he prefers that I call him Sir, since it is time to organize what they will be called from now on. Reach the night, Legion is in a coffee shop. Tells someone they'll speak bluntly. She prefers that he no longer contact her. He continues to pretend that he knows her and continues to send her messages. But she is uncomfortable with asking him to meet, to talk about this. And honestly, he does not understand why he acts like this with her. Taehyuk knows he's right. At the time, he tried to put her behind him, but now he's different. It is true that at that moment, he was distracted. How can he say that so calmly? Admittedly, she was wrong, but to be honest, Legion was really stunned back then. But the Legion of today is different. What's different? When they went on dates or went on a trip, he always asked her what she wanted to do, and she replied that they would do what he wanted to do. She tells him that she did it thinking of him and really liked doing what Taehyung wanted to do. That's the problem. She always makes him choose him, and she never expresses her opinion. Now she expresses her opinions well, and he likes his current self because it is different from the former self. She can't believe he's saying something like that, since, first of all, when Taehyuk asked her where she wanted to go, Legion gave his opinion, but Taehyuk didn't take into account what she wanted just because he was busy. It is then that she made the decision to do what Taehyung liked to do, and she stayed closed in on it. That Taehyung does not accept that he was the real culprit for her just doing what he liked to bother her, tells Taehyung that he is leaving and ends up retiring, hurrying away from him. The next morning, your phone rings. She was sleeping and wakes up to check his phone, check the messages, but the phone drops in his face. It's something that happens to anyone. Once on campus, Sion receives a message from Legion. She will not be able to come because she is not feeling well. Chang-woo is upset to learn that she won't be able to get out. At night, at a local restaurant, Legion leaves this place, somewhat dizzy. She had drunk a few bottles of alcohol. Chang-woo, for his part, thought that Legion was going to come. If he had known this, it would have been better not to have left. Look at his front, and he notices that it was Legion. She was about to fall, but Chang-woo holds it. He tells him to be careful. He asks her why he didn't come to the club, or even see her in class. She replies that she doesn't need to know, and asks him to remove his hand. She looks pretty cute. Asks if he was drinking. Legion asks him to take his hand off Chang-woo, just wondering why she lived alone. It seems that there is something wrong with her, and he's curious to know. Perhaps he began to take for Taiju. She's pretty easy to read. Apparently he was right. She starts crying, tells him he doesn't need to know. Maybe I should tease him a little. Perhaps she did not leave behind her feelings for him. It's time to stop obsessing, and it's better to live your own life. She tells him that's not what... She wasn't obsessed, she just got here. Chang-woo more or less understands it. Taehyuk must have been bad. It would be nice for her to form a new relationship, where she will take the initiative instead of being dragged away. If Legion wants, he can help him. He asks him what he thinks. A few minutes later, they both go to his room. It seems that she took it seriously. He really wants to do it. You must promise that you will not regret it, and you will avoid it. He himself said that he was going to help her, or perhaps it was a joke. Chang-woo doesn't know what to answer. All that's left is to do what she wants. There will be no repentance between the two. We moved on the next morning. While Legion was lying on a man's arm, she wonders who she's sleeping with. He realizes it was Chang-woo. She, confused by this situation, screams desperately. He puts on his clothes and leaves the room, leaving Chang-woo alone. Arrive on campus. Good thing the class is in the afternoon. While walking down the hall, he meets Chang-woo. He thought that the campus would not come today. Yesterday, he was already absent. He cannot miss the club today either. And as expected, Chang-woo was also here as he sticks to Young. The somewhat sweaty and restless note, he asks if he is in good health. She replies that yes, everything is fine with her. Chang-woo, the indifferent note. He wants to talk to Legion, but this interrupts him, and he asks everyone what movie they will see next week. It's being quite proactive, but he only did it to avoid talking to Chang-woo. He arrives at the house and goes to pour himself some water. Chang-woo enters the kitchen, and Legion instantly disappears. He lies on his bed. He is very ashamed. When time goes by, the details of that night come to mind, and remembers one in specific. When Chang-woo took off his shirt, it looks like she's going crazy. It's been a few days. Chang-woo tries to talk to Legion, but she does the same thing again. At least today they will be able to see each other in tutoring classes, but she receives a sudden message. Legion doesn't feel well. It looks like he won't be able to tutor. This infuriates him even more. The night is coming. She's on her laptop. He's a little hungry. Go downstairs to eat. At the door he meets. Chang-woo is very furious. He asks her what she's doing here. She was just gonna eat. Chang-woo asks him to stop running away. Both sit down to talk. He asks him, "What's wrong? Why you're avoiding it again?" Continues to avoid it to the point of skipping tutorials. He asks if it's because of the night they both went to bed. She replies that yes. It's all because of what happened between the two of them. That's why he asks you to please let him go out with her. This is a rather unexpected proposal. He doesn't understand why that is. Both remain silent. It seems that something has begun. Chang-woo asks him if he's serious. She is serious from her own conscience, but it is not entirely true. If he accepts, he will not avoid it anymore and will continue to tutor him. But he has to do her a favor. He must pretend to date her. Then it would be a false relationship. He stares at her, asks why he should. That's because he wants to continue tutoring. She also needs to lead a quiet university life. He will do what he asks, but must first answer your question because she drank alone that day. Chango doesn't have to know that. He wants to know the reason. Otherwise, she would not have been wrong to do so. That is truth. It's true that she dated Taeyuk, and that it is also true that she is possessive. She tells him that this is not true, so she remembers everything. Still, she has no reason to tell him, if Legion is going to be like this, then they will not accept your request. Does he just want to have fun and finish it once and for all? He's not such an easy boy. She apologizes, she wishes she forgot that incident, but she is not really like that. So he's someone special. She confirms it. So how did her relationship with Taehyuk end? If there will be a false relationship between the two, there's got to be a reason. He remembers that night where they both met Taehyuk. This is a complicated time and ends up telling him the whole situation from the beginning. Chang-woo hears everything. Then Taehyuk tricked her and made her look like an obsessed madwoman. The rumors became so dire that he had to take a break from college. But after returning to college, Taehyuk suddenly approached her again. This was surprising. Taehyuk turned out to be a real idiot. She asks him if he wasn't close to him. He tells her that only his parents know each other, both are not close. But back to the main point. Will comply with Legion's request, but from tomorrow he must dress differently. If he has decided to change, he must do it well. And you also need to change the way you call it. Since they are only going to pretend, you should call it Zumbai so that others do not suspect. Legion agrees, even when both are alone. She doesn't understand what kind of relationship they have to be called. That Chang-woo says, it's a little sad to say it like this. Perhaps I should number the relationship they have? She's embarrassed to remember that day. She doesn't understand why he is like this. He already told her that he is going to help her. She knows she wants to change too. That's why you're asking him now. Promises to help her. He always keeps his promises. In any case, it is a win and win for both. He hopes they will get along in the future. She seems to agree. The next morning arrives. Chang-woo proposes to go together. As he asks her to let go, Chang-woo tells him no, since both from now on are a couple, as he wants explanations. Legion explains it a little nervously. Both have decided to leave. When he asks her if it is because of some blackmail, he thinks that she would not fall into his hands. In any case, things are already done as he only feels repulsion. Later on campus, Legion gets a kiss on the forehead by Chang-woo in the hallway. This is part of the plan, so everyone believes they're both dating. They even made a contract before forming that fake relationship. 1, Legion must call Zumbae. 2, physical contact is forbidden. 3, will keep the relationship fake until graduation. 4, don't let them find out the relationship is fake. Chang-woo asks her why she's embarrassed. After that, they go to the club and tell everyone that they are both dating. But it's strange that Laguna was avoiding Chango. It seems that everyone knew it. This waist take. And he tells everyone they didn't want to do the obvious. He asks Legion to sign it, but she can't stand the shame anymore. And he slaps her hand and goes to his class. She takes notes. Chang-woo doesn't miss the opportunity. And the holding of the hand. You should do it so everyone knows they're dating. And not only that, but also to provoke Taehyuk. After classes, she returns home with Chang-woo. She asks why he is following her. They're both dating, so they should be together. Some students can't believe they're both dating. They see that Chang-woo's girlfriend is the Taehyuk-obsessed girl who caused chaos back then. Surely Chang-woo chose out of pity. Chang-woo face shot asks him what he's thinking. what they should have for dinner. She is in low spirits and continues to push it away as always. Here, some people laughing. This guy was talking badly about Legion. Chang Woo approaches him and he tells him that his gossip is loud. Maybe he thought he couldn't hear him. Whatever it is, it sucks. He asks him to get lost and he goes in his arms with Legion. She always avoided the hard stuff. How can this person be so confident and upright? He is quite envious. Chang Woo tells him that he hasn't done anything wrong anymore, asks why he pays attention to this kind of thing. She doesn't know if in the future there are people who tell you nonsense like that, you should approach them and confront them. She thinks it's some kind of nonsense. Maybe I should learn from Chang Woo. At night, we are in car traffic. Eugene was in one of the cars, asks Eugene if she's really dating Chang Woo. She is silent for a moment, and then replies to Tae-young that yes, she and Chang Woo are dating. Is she dating him only for the purpose of provoking him? She replies that she's not doing it for him, so she shouldn't think of it that way. She likes Chang Woo. That's why she's dating him. Besides, this is none of Tae-hook's business. He knows this and asks Legion if he wants to have dinner. She realizes that she didn't even care what he said, and this bothers her for some reason, and asks him to stop the car. And that's what Tae-hyuk does. The car brakes, and Legion opens the door. He must already know. From now on, she asks her to stop driving to campus just to wait for her. He doesn't want to get involved with him anymore. Tae-hyuk just tells her to get home safe and sound. You'll see it tomorrow. He closes the car and ends up leaving, clenches fist. She herself knows that she doesn't have classes tomorrow, so they won't see each other. But what about, we'll see you tomorrow? After thinking about it a lot, he was going to retire, but in the middle of the road, you get to cross paths with a well-known person. Chang Woo asks if he made it this far in Tae-hyuk's car. She was a little nervous. She thinks he might be angry to see her with someone else. He has a flashback to his past. Something similar happened with Tae-hyuk. He asked her who he came here with. Tae-young told her that he came with a friend from his class. Tae-hyung tells her that he's been waiting a long time. She should know that he's very busy, but she was chatting so casually with a friend. Isn't she being too inconsiderate with her boyfriend? Originally, she wasn't like that. She thinks that maybe Chang Woo will react the same way. He tells Legion he's been waiting a long time. She asks him if he is angry in a voice. Serena replies that it is already late and there is an alley in front of the house. He asks if he wants to have dinner. Hasn't he had dinner yet? He replies that he wanted to eat with her. Legion asks him why Chango tells him that this is what a normal wedding couple would do. We moved on the next morning. Legion leaves the house, but his shirt collar was disheveled. Chang Woo helps him to adjust the neck part as he noticed that the part of his neck looked irritated. She stays still, and Chang Woo tells her that she's clumsier than she thought. Legion is a little embarrassed. Class schedule ends. Legion, checking his phone, receives a message from Chang Woo is in front of your classroom, and he is already out to see where he was. Suddenly, Chango hugs her from behind. She had been scared. He should have warned him that he was going to wait for him in advance. Chang Woo rubs her hair and tells her that from now on, he will let her know in advance. She turns a little red. It's almost midnight. Chang Woo asks her if she is going to the club next week and give her private lessons at night. She replies that she has to do it, or if she had told him that she would not. Chang Woo only asked this as he was thinking of taking a break. She tells him that the final exam is coming soon. He himself asked her to give him private lessons, but he is always thinking of skipping it. And that is not right, but although Legion tells him all this, Chango did not take it so seriously. Upon entering the restaurant, there's a guy sitting down who looks a lot like his brother Ye-yuk. Even to his similar uniform, there is perhaps a high school around here. The boy turns his gaze, calls Legion's sister. Turns out he was her brother. But why is he here? The four of them sit at a table. Legion asks his brother what happened. She tells him that I was sending her messages. She even called him to inform him that she met Tae-hyuk. Her checking her phone, he hadn't noticed the messages. Since his brother Ji-hyuk was near his sister's university, he tried to contact her, but she didn't answer. So he took a tour of the university and met Tae-hyuk. Legion comes to understand that he feels guilty for not having answered, but leaving that issue aside. Who is that guy next to her? Legion is starting to get nervous. The words don't come out. Chang Woo tells her that he is his sister's boyfriend. Yi-hyuk wants to think that is not true and is astonished and disconcerted to learn this. His scream is so loud that it causes an uproar inside the restaurant. They will first go out in the car so they can talk better. It looks like Yi-hyuk won't be able to go home. The buses have already stopped running. Asks her sister if it's true that she's living in a dorm room. She replies yes. Taehyuk notices her somewhat worried. Since tomorrow is the weekend, maybe Jihoo can stay with him at his house. But suddenly Changwoo interrupts and tells Jihoo that he can sleep in the house where he and his sister live. This for a moment leaves him in shock, and somewhat annoyed asks him what he meant by our house. Legion gets nervous. She wants to explain what's going on. All the way he explains the situation, both arrive at Legion's house. Jijio, who must have found out that her sister didn't get a bedroom, why didn't she say it before? She tells him that she didn't want to worry mom and dad unnecessarily, but she shouldn't feel so worried since she's fine. She found a pension. She shouldn't tell her parents because it's a secret. The problem is not the pension. What worries her is that this guy also lives in the same house as her sister. Changwoo takes his finger. He's not just any guy. He already told him that he's his sister's boyfriend. Soon he'll be her brother-in-law. He shouldn't point his finger at him. But what this guy is saying is pretty weird. Legion look at Taehyuk. He thanks him for taking care of his brother. He just makes a happy gesture for some reason, and Legion approaches him. If you want to thank him, you should buy him something to eat next time. He touches her on the shoulder and tells her that he is leaving now. She wanted to tell him that that's too much to thank him, but he tells her to come in quickly since it's late. As she was thinking, Changwoo was doing cartwheels at Legion's brother, but the question here is, where are you holding him from? It's 12:25 p.m. The three of them sit at a table. Seong is out of the house. Changwoo tells Yeju to sleep with him, since they are both men. He opposes he will sleep with his sister. It seems that the two don't get along. How can a boy as big as him sleep in a bed as small as his sister's? Can he not? Changwoo tells him that he can't. Yeju tells him that he can. Yes, he can. Changwoo can't take this anymore. Asks you to take off the clothes you lent him and return him. That's falling into quite low. He's never seen someone like that. Well, now he knows. Legion was starting to get tired. How can someone like him exist? Well, now he knows that there is a person like that. Yejuk doesn't like the way he is. He asks his sister to stop him after talking too much. The three came to a conclusion. Changwoo was sleeping next to Legion. She doesn't understand how she got into this situation. We have to go back a few hours before both continued arguing. Legion tried to contact Soling to sleep in his room, but since he was absent, he could not enter his room. Then Chihyuk will sleep in Legion's room, and his sister will sleep in Changwoo's room, and where Chango is supposed to sleep, he tells her that he will sleep on the sofa. If things are going to be like this, then he will go to sleep. He asks his sister to come with him for a moment. He takes her to the room. If something happens while she's sleeping, he wants her to make sure she calls him. She doesn't think anything bad is going to happen, but his brother gives off a strong aura of distrust. He knows something is going to happen, and Legion tells him that he will call him if something happens. And that's how he leaves the room and go upstairs to his sister's room. This one just gives a smile, but then it gets serious. It's already past 12 o'clock. It's 3:30 in the morning. Legion was sleeping. Someone opens the door and approaches his bed. He settles in and gets inside the sheet. Legion feels like his knee collides with something. When you open your eyes, he realizes it was. Changwoo tells him he can't sleep on the couch, holding the arm tightly. Then she'll go sleep on the couch. Changwoo holds her hand. It's pretty cold outside. If you sleep on the couch, you're gonna catch a cold. She tells him she'll be fine. She doesn't catch a cold so easily. The problem is that Changwoo is cold. And you want to sleep next to someone. Grab the shoulder so they fall asleep together. Changwoo's breath tickled his ear. Legion wants to swallow hard. Close your eyes. And it does. But he realizes that it caused a rather loud sound. Even Changwoo heard it. The rather awkward note, and that seemed nice to him. Legion was dying of shame. Changwoo face shot. It's 4 a.m. Changwoo feels quite cold and hugs Legion. His breath touches Legion's neck and settles his head on his man. She is a little nervous, does not react to what he does. Both look at each other. When it seemed like they were going to kiss, suddenly you hear footsteps, and someone was about to open the door. Legion's brother enters the room. He sees that she's sleeping alone. I just wanted to check if Changbo wasn't sleeping with her, and closed the door again. Chango almost discovered them. He asked her if she had left. She replied that she did. The tension between the two was quite strong. He asks Changwoo to leave now. It's already morning. Legion tells his brother to return home carefully. Before he leaves, he asks you to please keep the secret from mom and dad that you are already living here, because otherwise she would worry. His brother sighs. and tells him that he understands, but he doesn't feel comfortable seeing that Chang-woo lives near her. Despite the fact that they are both brothers, they are complete opposites. He tells her to come back carefully. He wants her to let him know when he gets home he hopes she will visit them again. She turns her gaze to Chang-woo. He hugs her and tells her that now that his brother is gone, they both have the house alone. She asks him to wait. But for Chang-woo, doing this was fun. Suddenly someone calls Legion as he asks them what the two of them are doing in front of the house. All three enter. The climate is slowly getting warmer. She wanted to tell him something to Chang-woo, but before he talks to him, he wants me to at least call him Zumbai, instead of talking to him as if he were a stranger. If he doesn't want to call him Oppa, he can call him Zumbai. She understands it and calls it Zumbai. For these situations like those of a moment ago, from now on, she asks him not to touch her without permission. She hopes that he understands. Seeing Chang-woo, he asks him what he is thinking about. That means that if you ask permission, you can touch it as much as you want. She didn't say that. This makes Chang-woo laugh. It's been about 2 weeks since he began his fake relationship with Zumbai, aka Chang-woo, and he's handling everything pretty well without any problems, except for the fact that Taeyuk keeps visiting her from time to time. Really, everything is going too well, and that's the problem. Check out the message Chang-woo wrote to her last night. And Legion thought the emoticons he used were cute. Perhaps he has bought them. It seems to have a tender side. Chang-woo suddenly writes to him and asks Legion what he does. It seems that he read his message right away. She gets a little nervous. She found out that she was checking her chat at that time. Caused him some grace. Receive a response from Legion, and when I see the message, this makes him somewhat happy. His friend notices how he writes to his girlfriend. He tells his friends that if he was first, his friend can't believe he's really in a relationship. Perhaps the relationship between the two is quite serious. Others would think that it is not. In another change of scene, Legion bumps into someone at the university and asks him who he is. The girl tells her that she is already Chang-woo's girlfriend. After that situation, Legion was at work. A customer wanted to order an order, but our protagonist wouldn't listen. When the boy raises his voice, Legion reacts instantly. She apologizes at one point, will make her order. We have to go back a few days ago. The pink-haired girl had told Legion that she was Chang-woo's girlfriend. Our protagonist, when she knows this, is left with her mouth open. He can't believe she's serious, but when it comes to Chang-woo, obviously something like that could happen. But if his girlfriend showed up, then what would Chang-woo be? The pink-haired girl stares at her. Did Chang-woo ignore her messages for a girl like this? Suddenly, Chang-woo appears and greets Legion. But she was not the only one in this place. The pink-haired girl gets excited when she sees Chang-woo. He tells him that he missed him so much. The girl's name is Yura, asks her why she didn't answer her messages. Perhaps he was busy. It has been a while since they did not see each other. As he did not respond to their messages, he went to look for him on his own, and it took approximately 3 months. Chang-woo asks her how she knew where she was, but he must not have forgotten that Legion was also in that place. Tells Yura that now she has to leave. He's glad to see her after so long, but right now he has to go with Legion. Yura takes him by the hand, tells him that at night he will meet some friends, asks Chang-woo to accompany him. If he comes, all the boys are going to be happy. Chang-po asks him if it is for today. Yura says yes. Right now it's 5 to 7 o'clock. They will meet them. Seeing that Legion is still here, he asks if he had any exit plans with Chang-woo. Legion replies no. That said, he will go with Chang-woo. If Legion has no problem with him taking him, then he will take Chang-woo, but at no time did Legion say that he would agree. And now hold Chang-woo's arm with both hands. But he thinks about it momentarily and lets go of Yura's hands. He asks Legion if he remembers what he said at the beginning. Instead of letting yourself be swept away by love, you should try a love where you take the initiative, and he promised to help her with that. If you don't want him to leave, you just have to talk. But Legion lets go of his hand and tells him that everything is fine. Since it is a gathering of friends, it would be best for him to have fun. If Legion agrees, then Chang-woo will be back early. The sunset was visible. It's been a while since I didn't come home alone, but that tallness really is Chang-woo's girlfriend. From his reaction, it does not seem that he is. He pauses for a moment, asks herself what she's doing. Why she feels frustrated, she always keeps what she really wants to say and suffers in silence. Every time this happens, she feels pathetic. How stupid he must appear to others. Today, when you get home, you will have to ask. The night is coming. Chang-woo enters the residence. Ask Legion if he hasn't fallen asleep yet. She asks him if he drank too much. Chang-woo replies that it was only a little. You can tell in her eyes that there's something she wants to talk about. He asks him if he has anything to say. Or is it that he was just waiting for him? Legion wants to ask him, but the words don't come out. Chang-woo checks his phone, and Legion, when he sees his screen, notices some messages from Yura. This makes her a little jealous, or that's what I think. And he tells Chang-woo that he will go to sleep first. Since it's late, Chang-woo should also sleep soon. When you enter your room, Eli's on the bed. She is aware that they are both just pretending to be a couple. It is obvious that she cannot ask Chang-woo what they really are. Back to the present time, Legion has some drinks ready for its customers. Customers seeing the worker, they realize that he walks around with a lost look. Both are scared when they see her this way, and decide to finish their drinks as soon as possible to get out of this place. Until Chang-woo's alleged girlfriend appeared, Legion feels like she's making all kinds of mistakes, and she hates being like that. He should concentrate and mind his own business by trying to cover a shift, miss the bus. When turning around, he realizes that Tae Hyuk. I was waiting for her with the car. But before we go any further, we have to go back to Chang-woo. That night, when he was with Yura's friends, check their phone. Yura tried to get closer to him. He asks him why he is so thoughtful. Chang-woo gets up, tells boys he's leaving first. His friends ask him why he's leaving if it's still 10 Chang-woo before it wasn't like that. Yura clearly knows why he is leaving. Both walk together to take the bus. Yura loved that Chang-woo accompanied her. Chang-woo tells her that he wasn't accompanying her. She's the one following him. Yura can see how he's writing to Legion, asking her if she's already asleep, but to bring her takoyaki. Chang-woo tells him that his bus has arrived, so he leaves. Yura, being upset, would text Chang-woo, "When you enter the residence," he wonders why Legion is looking at him like this. What we saw before happens. Chang-woo sees Yura's message, and Legion, in that brief moment, goes up to his room. Before she falls asleep, I wanted to give him some takoyaki, but he didn't get to give it to him. Taehyung knows that Legion missed the bus. He is uncomfortable that Taehyung always accompanies her in situations like this. Taehyung didn't plan to accompany her home. I would just drop her off to the bus stop so she can take one. Besides, he has to go home. Today it's late. I know it would be dangerous for her to walk the streets alone, so she asks him to let her accompany her. From now on, she will prevent this from happening again. Both end up getting in the car. Taehyuk asks if he's really okay, referring to whether it is okay to live with Changbo. She doesn't have to tell him everything, but thought she might feel uncomfortable. Legion tells her that she is not uncomfortable. Perhaps she had not told him not to worry about her anymore. Besides, they are both no longer in a relationship to talk about this. Taehyuk tells him that she's always been the quiet type. It was always like that, even though she says it doesn't bother her. I don't think you feel completely good. Legion tells us that Taehyuk was always good at reading what she thought, or rather, he knew how to manipulate her. Taehyung mentions that he saw Chang-woo during the day having a few drinks with another girl. Legion tells him he's gonna get off right here. She doesn't want to hear it anymore. Taehyung asks her why she gets off so quickly. Legion tells her that from here, there is also a bus that will take her home, and thanks her for accompanying her. Taehyuk tells him that he only asked if he wasn't uncomfortable living with Chang-woo, why he suddenly reacted so sensitively. Legion repeats that everything is fine in her. The sensitive one here is Taehyuk. He tells him that he is leaving now. When he is on the bus, a thought comes into his head that Tae Hyuk is right. It's like she said before, she was always someone who waits in silence, and right now she's still the same. She doesn't understand why she worries so much about Chang-woo hanging out with that girl named Yura. She can't believe that just because of that, she feels so frustrated. The bus arrives at its whereabouts and gets off it. Check his phone and see some messages from Chang-woo. Asks if he's coming home yet. When you come almost to the entrance of your door, he meets Chang-woo smoking a cigarette, instantly throws it away. Whether the tobacco smoke disperses, welcomes Legion quite fondly. Maybe that came out just to receive her. Chang-woo asks him why he was so late. Legion tells him that he was covering a closing shift. Changgo receives a message on his phone. Legio begins to assume that perhaps it is Yura who is writing to him. Thinking about it makes him uncomfortable, and he takes Chango's arm off his shoulder, goes straight to the house. For a moment, he turns around to say to Chango that he does not smoke in front of the house. He doesn't understand how the environment before changed so suddenly. There's no way he can understand it. This is just a contract relationship. A feigned love, this was nothing more than a facade to avoid problems. So without any attachment, you just had to keep an appropriate distance. That was all I had to do, but every time I see it, he can't help but blush and disappears from Chango's sight. It seems like they came back to the beginning again. Lee-jin doesn't understand why his eyes wander to him, why he's paying so much attention to him. Sometimes when this Tellura is by his side, when she brings up stories about them that she herself does not know, she feels pretty suffocated. But why does this happen to you? It seems that the contract that both made will not remain entirely stable. He leaves his room with the phone in his hand. Check out some previous messages she had with Chango. She was waiting for a message from him, but he doesn't understand why he keeps waiting for a call. You should stop checking your phone, even if it's a fake relationship. It's normal to feel something like this, but it's really normal to feel this way. He heads to the kitchen for a bite to eat. Listen, as someone approaches the kitchen, Chang-woo always jokes around at any time. Getting closer and closer, that made him uncomfortable, and she always avoided him. But now you understand why this discomfort is not just a rejection. It's more than that. Chang-woo note pretty still, standing in front of the refrigerator, gets closer to see what's wrong with you. Lee-jin with a completely red face feels ruined.